President Biden is now promising to impose new sanctions on Russia. And this comes as we learn of more bipartisan support for Supreme Court nominee Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Our political director, Rick Klein, is here with more on what's happening in Washington. And Rick, I want to start with Ukraine and Russia because the president says that Putin has to be held accountable. So what would more sanctions look like?
Yeah, Diane, you saw the president again say that Putin is a war criminal and endorse the idea of seeing accountability for Putin. We've already heard about all the crippling sanctions, and there aren't that many arrows left in the quiver. One thing we are hearing about now is more pressure on some of the oligarchs, more seizing of people's property in the Putin inner circle. We're also seeing a lot of pressure on Europe and some being applied by European countries about additional bans on exports of Russian oil, also jet fuel, other luxury goods could potentially be on the table. Anything they can do to try to squeeze the financial lifeline. But the easy stuff has already been done. The biggest, highest impact stuff has already happened. So it isn't clear what the U.S. or its allies can do that are going to kind of change the equation right now when it comes to pressuring Putin.
And the president has also said that Putin should be tried for war crimes, but we just finished hearing how challenging that can be, particularly since that person has to actually be in custody in order to be tried by the International Criminal Court. So do you think a war crimes trial is going to happen here?
I don't think it's likely. I think our previous guest did a magnificent job in outlining all of the various obstacles. The United Nations, Russia can block that. There's talk now about stripping the UN seat on the Human Rights Council that Russia currently has, but it will still have that veto in the Security Council. And yes, the logistical issues of getting Putin actually to stand trial, I can't imagine he's not going to do it himself, and no country I can imagine that might have him in their custody would turn him over. And I think it's notable that the White House, the administration, still is stopping short of calling this a genocide. That would trigger potentially other action on the international stage and maybe that Nuremberg-style type trial. Until or unless that happens, I don't see any mechanism, frankly, to have accountability.
And as for the Supreme Court confirmation proceedings, 3 Republicans came forward overnight and said that they will vote yes for Ketanji Brown Jackson. So what do we know about that?
Only in modern Washington is 3 Republican votes, a big victory for the White House. But frankly, they're pretty happy with this turnout. Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, famously moderates who often cross party lines. But the other big one, Senator Mitt Romney, the former nominee of the Republican Party on the presidential level in 2012. He voted against Judge Jackson less than a year ago. But he says that he feels like this process has gotten him to a place where this is the type of nominee that he should support, that elections have consequences. You see in these 3 Republican senators really a glimpse of what they hope the Senate could look like moving forward after the searing partisan battles that we've seen in recent decades over court nominees.
And former President Barack Obama is visiting President Biden at the White House today to celebrate the Affordable Care Act, as President Biden is preparing to announce some additional actions to try to reduce health care costs. What's on the agenda?
It's the first time, believe it or not, that former President Obama is at the White House since he left office back in January of 2017. He didn't go during the Trump years, and he's seen Biden a few times, but not at the White House. This marks the moment, as you said, there's some additional steps to make health care more affordable under Obamacare for families. But I also am curious to see what else this means for this partnership, because, frankly, Democrats know the kind of position they're in because they went through it back in the Obama years when they lost the control of the House just 2 years into his presidency, and they know that President Obama remains a very popular figure in the Democratic Party. I know there's plans to see him on the midterm campaign trail, so this may just be a glimpse of some things to come.
And Rick, Congress is also trying to pass a $10 billion COVID relief package. What would that look like?
Well, this has come together pretty quickly, and right now we saw a bipartisan agreement come out yesterday. A lot of this money is going to go toward additional testing, additional therapeutics, making sure that the rest of the world continues to get access to the vaccine, that people still have knowledge of what's out there. Really the question was around where you find the money and repurposing some funds not already spent. But in the context of Washington, this one has actually moved at lightning speed.
All right, Rick Klein, thank you as always.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.